Hello and welcome back. This is going to be one of your easiest recipes you could possibly do. It's really good for a weeknight if you have a family. This is chicken Parmesan Casserole. So I'm going to put it over linguine because that's what my husband requested. I prefer angel hair spaghetti. You can use pretty much any noodle. But if you do something like rotini or macaroni, that gets a little weird texturally as far as like the sauce goes. But I definitely recommend a long noodle. So this is already cooked chicken. I fried it in butter, which is salt and pepper. The butter brings out the flavor. Salt and pepper is not going to interact with the sauce. So just fry up some chicken, really easy. I use 3 chicken breasts. We have a family of 4. If you go on Pinterest and look this up, the recipe calls for a lot of chicken, and you just don't need that much. If you're in a time crunch, then you can pre-cut the chicken into cubes. I cooked it first and then cut it, and that was just for moisture. I'm using a pre-made sauce. If you know how to make spaghetti sauce, it's always better with homemade spaghetti sauce. If you're not sure about canned sauce, to get that flavor to go away, mix it with some just plain sauce. It really cuts the flavor, and it can actually stretch it to go farther. So if you have a large family that eats a lot, like teenagers, you can always get the can and then cut it with regular sauce. And then mozzarella. So here's some regular sauce. Just mix it together before you put it on top. And then here's some mozzarella, and it's just plain part skim, the most affordable kind mozzarella, and that's all you're going to need. You're going to cook your chicken, you're going to cut it in cubes, put it in. I'm putting it in a glass one, and it's sprayed with Pam. I'm going to top it with my sauce, and then on top of that I'm going to add my mozzarella. Because this is already pre-cooked, I don't have to wait to add my mozzarella, but I'm going to because it's had time to cool. So I'm going to put this in the oven, I'm going to top it, put it in the oven for about 5 minutes. It's 375. Then I'm going to top it with my mozzarella, and then I'm going to let that cook. And then I can top it over linguine, and that's it. If you look here on the box, it actually tells you how long to cook. So if you're kind of busy, you can put it in a pot, stir it, and then you know to check it in 9 to 10 minutes. But of course, pasta cannot cook correctly without stirring it every once in a while. But at least you know, right here on the box is where it tells you how long it's going to cook. Here is my linguine. It's already cooked. It's cooked al dente. That means it's not overcooked and it's not mushy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add olive oil to it and flip it around, and that's actually a restaurant trick to keep it from going dry when it's in the window. So this is what it should look like, and just go ahead and add just about a tablespoon of olive oil. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this together. Now if you want to cut this because you don't like the canned flavor or the flavor of being in this bottle, cut it, just open a can of regular sauce and then mix it in a bowl. Add some salt and pepper, because otherwise you're just adding sauce and you're taking away the flavor. But salt really changes the flavor, and I always recommend using sea salt. If you use iodized salt, it tastes a little weird. If you ever have a chance, just get a whole bunch of different kinds of salt and just taste them by themselves, because you will see that iodized salt is not very flavorful, but sea salt is really good for cooking. So I'm just going to put this right on top. Also, a really good thing with canned, if you're not big on chunks, I'm not a really big fan of chunks either. So if you're not big on chunks, put it in a food processor or a blender. It keeps the flavor, and it's going to get out those chunks. And for like kids, it's really good. Just pour it out. And because I want this to heat up before I put the mozzarella on, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven. One of the things you'll notice with canned and spaghetti sauce is that it has a lot of added moisture. It's very watery. What I'm waiting for is it to not look very watery. Okay, so it has been about 20 minutes, and now I just went ahead and added the mozzarella. Okay, this is the final product. It's still bubbly, it just came out, but if you notice there's a little bit of brown on the cheese, that's what we like. And as soon as it's done, cooling down, we're going to put it on top of linguine, and that's it. It's simple. It took about 40 minutes to complete, but it's a complete meal. This is the final product. It's cheesy, it's spaghetti sauce, it's on some linguine, it looks delicious. So good luck.